Welcome to the Fifth Quarter Sportscast. I'm Jared Judy. I'm here with my buddy Todd Corley. How we doing today?
30-ounce guzzler for tequila. I'm great.
It's a good way to pregame, I hear. All right, well, we got some Week 9 action in the NFL to break down. We got some midseason predictions to make. We got some plenty of backups to get through, some breaking news, a couple polls. So we got all kinds of fun stuff to dive into. But let's start off here with the Cheers of the Week poll. There was a lot of dominating wins from Week 9. Which one was most dominating? We had Browns over the Cardinals, Ravens over the Seahawks, Raiders over the Giants, Chargers over the Jets. I see right now it's Browns and Cardinals. Browns over Cardinals, Ravens over Seahawks, both at 50%. I'm going to be honest. When you pinch a shutout, yeah, you're going to get my Cheers of the Week.
I wish I had a can to open. Yeah, I picked the Browns. That's a professional football team that you gave up 0 points to.
Yeah, even if the team you're playing is trying to tank or supposedly not tanking, straight up trash, it's still pretty impressive to hold an NFL professional football team to 0 points. I mean, it's pretty hard to not even luck into getting into field goal range.
Total yards. Total yards, an entire game. Men paid. Men are getting paid millions of dollars to play this game. 58 total yards.
Yeah, it was just a complete domination across the board. Like they had nothing going for them. I can see why people voted for Ravens over the Seahawks because that was almost as much of a lopsided win. But I mean, you still pinched a shutout. So for that, I got to go with the Browns. But with that being said, we'll dive into some of the games here. Started out with the barn burner. We had the Titans and the Steelers on Thursday. Steelers get the win 20-16. The offense continues to struggle. The defense continues to keep them in games. They win close games mostly because of the defense. Will Levis, I mean, he didn't do too bad. He did pretty good for a starter. But against that Pittsburgh defense, I mean, you're going to have your struggles regardless.
Probably could have used a couple of those touchdowns from the week before.
Probably. I mean, even one of them would have helped. We got Rams, Packers. Packers beat up on Rams 20-3 in an absolute disaster of a game, and they beat up on another backup. So I'll go ahead and not look into this at all and say they still suck, and I'll put this right up there with the win over the shitty Bears and the Saints. They lucked into that one. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot to say when you have a backup quarterback. I mean, it is what it is. We had the Chiefs and the Dolphins. We got the Chiefs pulling out 21-0 halftime lead and then doing nothing with it after that. Dolphins come back 14-0, trying to make it a game in the second half, but ultimately fall short 21-14. Chiefs get the win there over in Germany.
We send the good teams to Germany. We send the shit teams to London. Got it.
Well, I mean, yeah, Jags are the it's the London Jaguars, so
it's right there, home away from home.
But another game here, we had the Commanders and the Patriots. I don't know. There's a lot of people speculating. I have a hard time believing that it's true, but you know, crazier things have happened. We got the Commanders getting the win 20-17 over the Patriots. A lot of rumors speculating saying that Bill's on the hot seat. I don't see Kraft or anybody of that organization canning him mid-season. I don't necessarily see him even getting canned at the end of the season because they just don't have a lot of talent right now. But I don't know. Plus, I think he's got another year yet on his contract, so I don't know that they would be dumb enough to kick him to the curb and then pay him and pay somebody else as well. But like I said, the NFL is crazy, so it could happen. God knows there's a there's a lot of unemployed coaches still getting paid around the league. So I mean, wouldn't be the first one.
A lot of people think Tupac's still alive.
It is true. We had a barn burner in the Buccaneers-Texans game. Texans get the close win, 39-37 over the Tampa Bay Bakers. C.J. Stroud has a hell of a game. We can break down some of the rookies here in a minute, but he is looking pretty damn good. Pretty damn good out of the draft class that was drafted. He right now is probably the shining star as far as first round picks. Surprisingly, actually, because he doesn't have a whole lot of shining stars as far as talent, established, household names around him, but he's getting it done. I mean, that team looks pretty damn good compared to what people were expecting him to be at the beginning of the season.
God, Dalton Schultz, 10 for 130 and a touchdown.
I forgot he was there. I didn't realize.
Your tight end. My God.
I knew he got traded, but I couldn't remember where he went. For some reason, I thought he went to Arizona.
Jesus,
I don't know why.
Christ. Noah Brown, 150. Tank Dell. He was dealing, boy. C.J. Stroud, man, hats off to you, buddy. OH.
Yeah, he was. He was all about the business. That's for sure.
Lord.
But we'll get to the poll of the week game here. Browns Cardinals 27-0. Browns pinch the shutout. I got to get your take on this here when we get to the rookies and the quarterbacks, because I'm a little dumbfounded. I know Kyler Murray is supposed to be coming back, but I don't necessarily know that it was necessarily, for the Cardinals anyway, the smartest move to move Joshua Dobbs when you did, because yeah, you don't really have a lot of other established athletes, I guess, on that team right now. So I don't know what you're working with.
Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like that was like a panic move by Arizona, just trying to sell because they figured Kyler was going to come back and Dobbs was going to be relegated to the bench. But they didn't really get much for him, and clearly, man,
what they get? What round was it? Did they get? For some reason, I was thinking a fifth,
fourth or fifth, fourth at best. I think it was probably it could. I was thinking fourth. It could have been a fifth. I'd have to have Pat or Jamie look into it. I hired somebody while you were updating your computer. I hope you don't mind.
You could have hired a whole fucking analytic. You could have hired a whole analytics team by the time it took me.
Yeah, you really took your sweet time.
Trust me, I'm not working with Windows 95, but it sure feels like I'm working with DOS over here.
Yeah. Either way, they basically got trade raped by the Vikings because
Vikings definitely got the better part of that deal for sure.
Holy shit. 7th round. Okay, so Dobbs in a 7th to the Vikings.
A 7th?
The Cardinals are trading.
Holy crap.
No, just stop. Just calm down. Just calm the fuck down. I know.
Did you say a 6th?
No, just calm down. I know you looked at a bottle of Bailey's and it got you all twisted. Hold on. You didn't even drink anything. Dobbs in a 7th to the Vikings for a 6th. A 6th.
Okay, then. Wow.
Yeah,
that's even worse. That's worse than I thought.
Move. That's a panic move.
Yeah. That, or it's desperation of like hey, let's just see what we can try to get and, get anything we can.
Jesus Christ, dude. What if you're Dobbs?
You're happy.
In 1 year.
You're happy.
Twice in 1 year, dude. And you're out there just fucking raking.
Yeah, but who do you think's gonna? He's the modern day Matt Flynn.
God, dude,
just collecting contracts. But I mean, honestly,
I never wanted a Matt Flynn jersey. Jesus fucking Christ. But
yeah.
Dobbs,
well, I'll put it this way: he can't hate it because he went to Minnesota and he tripled his win total. So,
God, I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Speaking of coming out on the crap end of a deal here, Bears, Saints 24-17. Saints get the win. I don't understand what they thought that the Montez Sweat trade was going to do for him, but you're a dumpster team. That's not going to matter. Clearly, it didn't matter in this game. I don't know that he played a whole lot, but I don't know. They're not any good. Another one from the poll of the week here is Ravens Seahawks. Ravens get the win 37-3. I'm so completely confused by Seattle. I don't know what they are. Like, I thought they were going to be really good this year, and then I see games like this, and I think, oh, God, they look like shit. But then I'll see them the next game, and they'll squeak out a win. Like, I don't feel like they're the same consistent team they were last year. I just don't feel like they're clicking. I don't know if there's a lot of injuries going on or what the hell's going on with them, but I'm so confused.
How the hell do you only have 28 yards rushing total as a team? Total.
I don't know.
You got Kenneth Walker, who's averaging. I mean, shit. If you look at Kenneth Walker's stat line from this game, you would think Trent Richardson was in the Hall of Fame.
Trent Richardson.
My God.
Yeah. Trust me.
Not a single person on this fucking team averaged over 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, I know Walker had a shitty ass day because I actually picked him in one of my DraftKings lineups, and I was like, how the hell did he not get more points? And then I look, I'm like, oh, okay, because he averaged 1.8 yards. That's how the hell I got nothing for him. Like, what the hell happened? Like, I know the Ravens are a decent team, but good Lord, come on.
Are the Seahawks missing, like, multiple
everybody?
Linemen?
They got to be missing the whole fucking team. I don't get it.
Offensive linemen, at least.
Geno Smith only had 157 yards. Like, what the hell's going on? You didn't pass.
One catch.
You didn't pass. You didn't run. What the fuck were you doing? Were you at halftime for the whole game? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe I'm a little butthurt because I have Geno Smith in our fantasy league and he sucks horribly this year. So I have to rock with Sam Howell. But I just don't get what's going on with them this year. I just don't understand it. They're completely dumbfounding me. DK's not having a solid season. Walker's sporadic and inconsistent. Tyler Lockett's basically useless. Geno Smith is a fragment of what he was last year. And that defense is a joke. Like,
still above 500.
That's what I was just going to say. Yet they're still tied for the division lead, which I don't understand how. But
and they got
moving
the
on
this week. Yeah, they're about to be 6-3. They're going to the playoffs, homie.
Yeah, it's going to be like it's going to be like the straight 7-9 year all over again. But moving on, talking about the Pasternaut, he goes to Minnesota. He helps Minnesota play recess backyard ball. They get the win over Atlanta, 31-28. What's the deal with Robinson? Like, do they just not want to use him? Do they not know how to use him? Like, I feel like he burst onto the scene at the beginning of the season, and everybody was like, oh my God, he's going to be great. And I don't feel like he's really been able to get any traction since.
I don't know what's going on with Atlanta, man. Same thing. And then the game where he suited up, I don't even know if he actually touched the field.
He was like sick or something, and he had well, I think they sat him the whole game or something, and he had like one carry at the end or something. I don't understand. I don't get it.
This is why you always, whenever you're picking uniforms for whoever decides that out there in NFL land, always pick the dark pants, because at least if your star player is going to shit himself, he won't show up so bad. I think that's probably the problem. They got them white britches down there in Atlanta. That hot Atlanta. He shits himself. It looks bad on national TV.
Is that why the Browns are usually brown pants, brown jerseys?
Yeah.
Way it doesn't show up every season.
Ever since they got Garrett. Yeah, ever since they got Garrett, shit. They winning. They shitting, but they winning. You can't tell.
Well, moving on to another dumpster team here. We had the Colts and the Panthers. Panthers lose yet again. Colts get the win 27-13.
Carolina sucks.
I mean, they're bad. They're so bad. I don't know if Bryce Young is the answer, but I definitely don't think there's a lot surrounding him aside from a AARP card holder, Adam Thielen. I don't really know what there is down there. The defense is completely fell off now that Kuechly's gone.
Thielen surprised me. I didn't expect him to be as
As
productive as he has this year.
I didn't expect it to be that dominant either with a rookie. That kind of surprised me.
Bryce
But
Young, 3 picks, sacked 4 times. Ugh. He
the
little.
line
He's small though. You know. He one of them little. He one of them little guys.
the line stinks down there. The receivers aren't that great. The running game is to be honest, I don't even know who the hell their even running backs are because you
Chuba.
never hear it.
Just Chuba.
Oh shit, I forgot Sanders is there.
It's crazy that he had such a great year in Philly, and I've never been a Miles Sanders fan ever.
No, no.
But I mean, he's taking a back seat to Chuba Hubbard, and
Which
he's
how bad is that? How bad is that? You were in the Super Bowl and then you're a backup to Hubbard.
I mean he got out carried 16-6.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
not close. It's not even close.
The thing when you're like the top pick though, you're going to a team that was in a shit situation. You're 4'11", I think. I don't know. I mean, he's smaller than hell.
You're going to expect to struggle a little bit, but everything across the board is bad. Like, I don't know what one positive they could hang their hat on and say, okay, we're going to build the team around this. Like, the defense stinks. The running game stinks. The receivers stink. The quarterback is unproven. The offensive line's horrible. Like, where's their one bright spot? I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know.
Get them fucking shitty hurricanes and weather.
How many more
whole town out.
How many more games? Because we know the owner is not the most patient, understanding guy. How many more games before Frank Reich gets shit canned in his first year?
It'll be the end of the season.
Man, you think? I don't think it's going to be that long.
Yeah, he'll make it the whole season.
I think it might be the end of this week.
Put it on the board.
They play the Panthers and the Bears on Thursday night. If they lose to the fucking Bears, he might be shit canned and kicked to the curb Friday morning. I don't. God, that's the worst Thursday night game I think they've had yet this year.
He'll make it the whole season.
The two fucking dumpsters of the league show off in prime time. Like, who thought that was going to be a prime time elite game? Ugh, it's disgusting. They need to start flex scheduling all these games because they fucking blow.
All I need is Russell Wilson on prime time. Just give me all the Russ all the time.
Yeah, well, we got last year's Denver that's showing up tomorrow. But speaking of dumpsters, we got the Raiders and the Giants. They matched up, if you want to call it that. Raiders just shit canned their coach, and they decided to win one for the Gipper. Let's go win one for Antonio Pierce, and they knock off the Giants 30-6. I don't know how much. I don't know how much stock you could put in that because I mean, did you really stand up and show that it was the coach, or did you just win because the Giants are so damn bad?
I mean, Daniel Jones is done for the year.
Daniel Jones was done week 1.
Yeah, but his wife's pretty good at athletics.
Now it's just official. He's got the tag.
Baby.
Yeah. But moving on here, Philly has a close one with Dallas, 28-23. Bills-Bengals rematch, 24-18. I don't know what to think of the Bills, man. It just does not seem like it's the same Bills team we've seen over the last few years. I didn't watch the whole game. I think I watched maybe the second and third quarter. The Bills just seem to be struggling. Like they're not clicking. Like, I don't know what it is.
For me, it's the misuse of James Cook. I don't understand why they don't run that guy more.
They don't run at all. They don't run anything unless it's Josh Allen running for the first down. Otherwise, it's Stephon Diggs, Kincaid or Knox when they're out there, and the occasional 1 out of every 10, Gabe Davis. That's it. That's their whole offense.
It's so bizarre. I mean, Josh Allen literally, leading rusher this game, literally doubled James Cook's production. Josh Allen had as many carries in this game as James Cook and Latavius Murray combined.
And more yards.
That doesn't make
Almost.
sense, dude.
Oh, they almost doubled their yards. I'm so confused. Like, it almost seems like they're confused as to what the identity is. Because James Cook is not bad. He's a good running back. But, like, is the offensive line struggling? I don't think that's the case, because if that was the case, Josh Allen wouldn't get time to pass. I mean, Diggs had 86, Kincaid had 81, and they had 16 receptions between the two of them. So it's not like the line isn't giving them time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They better figure it out, because I actually like the Bills.
They just don't seem like the same team we've seen over the last couple of years. They definitely seem like they're in a slump of some sort, and something's not right. I don't know if it's injuries, if it's scheming. They just need to wake up, because it doesn't seem like they have the whole thing put together.
They definitely need resuscitated, Jared. I agree. Hashtag too soon. You
bingo.
Alleyway.
But, I mean, to be honest, I don't think the Bengals really are playing how we kind of expect them to either. They've seemed to have some real clunker games, and it seems like they have a lot of slow starts. And Joe Mixon, I don't feel like is having near as much of an impact as he has in the past.
No, that's fine by me.
I'm sure. Fan. I'm not either, but it blows me away, these teams that's been deep in the playoffs or Super Bowl appearances, to just completely look like the fucking Panthers. Like, and come on.
Chase got banged up this past week too.
I did see that. Yeah.
Burrow looks good though, so you know that there's that. He's got his swag back. He ready.
Well, speaking of getting banged up, Zach Wilson got banged up quite a bit by Joey Bosa on Monday night. Chargers, Jets, 27-6. Chargers take the win of the week. I just, as long as Zach Wilson's in there, I think they're going to suck, because it's all on the shoulders of the defense. Zach Wilson isn't going to get it done. You're going to have to lean on Breece Hall in that offensive line, which is sketchy, and the defense to bail you out, because Zach Wilson isn't going to get it done. But
no, he's not good.
With that being said,
yeah, the other side of the ball. Why don't we talk about the fucking
long-haired Baker Mayfield? I was just going to say that. With that being said, Zach Wilson did outperform the opponent. He went 33 of 49 for 263 yards. He was sacked 8 times, though. However, it completely dumbfounds me how you win a game going 16 of 30, 136 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and also sacked 5 times. How are you an effective NFL team? I don't understand it. And it's not even like Austin Eckler had any real impact. He went 14 of 47, and he had 2 catches for 23 yards. So he was non-factor. This literally was all on the back of Joey Bosa and that defense and the ineptitude of Zach Wilson. That's it. That's the only reason the Chargers look so dominant, because their offense looks like shit.
Their offense is pure shit. I'm not a fan. Justin Herbert is probably the most overrated quarterback.
I want to like him. I want to like the Chargers because I like Bosa. Yeah. I like Austin Eckler. I'm a big Eckler fan, so I want to like him.
Eckler's a dude, man.
I want him to be good, and I want to like him, but it's like I almost kind of feel like
I like Everett. Everett's a bad dude, man. Gerald Everett. You see a tight end
Keenan Allen
with a fucking single-digit number in the visor coming at you.
I mean, I like some Keenan Allen too. He's not bad, but I get the vibes from them.
Johnson's a fucking waste. God.
Yeah, that's because I drafted him. Anybody I draft, they're going to be horrible. But I kind of get the vibes of like late to mid 2000s Chicago Bears with Matt Forte. Like I kind of get that vibe from the Chargers, where the defense is really, really dominant. The offense does enough to kind of hang in games, but the quarterback blows it at the end.
Cutler's overrated.
Yes, and you have Matt Forte, who I think is a very good comp to Austin Eckler. He's a very good run guy.
Yeah,
He's very good catches out of the backfield.
Yeah.
He's very short and not short, but he's very what's the word I'm looking for? He's got that quick twitch. He's real quick, turns on a dime. Like, I feel like that's a very good comp, and that's what I kind of get the vibes of when I watch them. They're not functional in offense at all. And Austin Eckler, like Matt Forte, is just beating his head against a brick wall because he can't get loose and can't get anywhere. But it's the defense that keeps him in the games. Like, I mean, I don't know. You got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa over there on that side. The Bears, they had Peanut Tillman, they had Lance Briggs, they had Urlacher. It was that defense that held them in. So I don't know. That's just me. I kind of was thinking that when I was watching the Jets game. Like, I kind of got the vibes of that era Bears game or Bears team.
In an order that might surprise you. Weird that you named Urlacher last. I think we're going to peel back those layers later with Dr. Freud. I think you're still scarred. We'll talk about mommy in the next episode.
Well, the only reason I mentioned Urlacher last is because I still can't picture him with hair plugs. It's too weird.
I hope you fucking dream tonight and you wake up and you fucking... Man, I hope you put on an underpants. Waterproof underpants, because you're going to piss yourself tonight. You're going to have nightmares like that.
It's a good chance.
54 bearing down on you. Look at you.
Good chance. But let's get into some of the breaking news here. We already mentioned kind of some of it. Daniel Jones torn ACL. He's out for the year. Yeah. Shocker. We had Dobbs, as we discussed earlier. He signed with Minnesota. He jumps in and gets the win. We had Travis Kelce passes Tony Gonzalez as the all-time leader in reception yards with the Chiefs.
God, he had like 14 yards receiving.
Yeah. That's when I saw that stat, and I was like, wow, he did just enough to get by that record.
Jesus Christ.
It's not like you could even have a big game to do it with. And we mentioned this earlier, C.J. Stroud, he sets the single game passing record for most yards set by a rookie with 470 yards. That's fucking unreal for a veteran, let alone a rookie. But he broke the record that was set by Andrew Luck, which I'm not a huge Colts fan, but it would have been fun to see how his career would have went because, you know, he just took too many hits and retired too early. But I think he could have been something. But to break that record at 470 is fucking unreal. That's props to you, sir. Speaking of, we mentioned earlier inept offenses. Keenan Allen reaches 10,000 career yards, which is impressive considering he's playing with Justin Herbert, who only threw for 136. So he really packed all of that into 136. So this is definitely, I didn't realize it until I think I was listening to McAfee yesterday. I don't remember, but they were talking about how prevalent like backups were this week. So I went back and started looking at some of the matchups, and it's like, oh my God, half of the games this week were with backup quarterbacks. It's like, Jesus, what the hell happened? No wonder the scores are so lopsided in such shitty games. So just to kind of look at some of these, we had Will Levis with Tennessee. We had Brett Rippon with the Rams.
Nephew of Mark.
Could you please explain to me who in the hell Clayton Tune is? Because there's no way in hell anybody else that's a fan of the NFL, even the Arizona fans, even know who the hell that is.
I don't know, but they better not sell that motherfucker's jersey in the team shop because I'm going to be pissed.
I have looked it up and I was like, okay, Watson played. Congratulations, you showed up to get paid today. And then I look at the other side. I'm like, Clayton Tune, who the fuck is that? I've never even heard of the guy. Clayton Tune. All right. Well, I thought I was, I thought I was kind of out of the mix when it came to like unknowns when Bagent Bajent, whatever his name is, from Chicago, gets another start. And then I look at Clayton Tune. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Not necessarily a backup per se, but Dobbs from Minnesota. Again, not necessarily a backup per se, but for this year, yes, he was. Heineke steps in for Desmond Ritter. Tommy DeVito steps in for Daniel Jones. And then Aiden O'Connell steps in for Jimmy G. That is the most backups I think I've ever seen in 1 week playing at the same time. Like, that's unreal. That is not good for the league. That it doesn't lead to a lot of household names when you're watching as fans, and you're like, who the hell is that? They're not even like notable college like pickups. I mean, I think I know Aiden O'Connell just from ESPN Madison. That's who they were saying they wanted to draft. So I know him. I know Levitz, but nobody knows Clayton Tune. Nobody knows Bajent. Nobody knows Rippin. I don't know. I just didn't realize there was that many backups playing this week. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But we will look at some of the other polls we had here. We had some of the referencing the Monday night game. We had the Jets and the Chargers. Our favorite all-time Chargers player, we had LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, and Austin Eckler. It was almost kind of across the board with, surprisingly, Phillip Rivers not getting any votes. LT 60%. Yeah, I figured he'd at least get one, but LT 60%, Gates 20%, Austin Eckler 20%. I went with LT, although part of me wanted to go with Gates, but it's hard to go against LT.
Tomlinson was a dude, man.
Yeah.
That dude dominated.
Absolutely.
He was fun to watch.
Flipping over to
the first one. He won part one, by the way.
He did.
We had to mix it up and add some new blood in there.
Yeah. But flipping to the other side here, the Jets, we had Joe Namath, Curtis Martin, Darrelle Revis, Wayne Corbett.
God, I liked Wayne Corbett. I didn't vote for him.
I didn't. Well, nobody did.
Yeah.
Joe Namath 25%, Curtis Martin 50%, Darrelle Revis 25%. I voted for Revis. He was a freaking monster. Like he literally had that whole side of the field locked down. Like he was an animal.
He was good. Curtis Martin was. I feel like Curtis Martin was underrated. That dude was such a good running back, man.
I remember him, and I remember seeing him, but I don't know. For some reason, I never paid much attention to him, I guess, because they were in the AFC and the AFC East. But
the Jets and the Patriots. Curtis Martin was so underrated.
Yeah.
I was a big Curtis Martin fan.
Well, he got his due later on. But moving to the crossover here, players that played for both Chargers and the Jets. We have LT again, which I completely forgot that he played for the Jets.
Yeah.
We got Antonio Cromartie, Danny Woodhead, which I think Danny Woodhead played with 5 teams? And then
Patriots,
Kellen.
Yeah.
He played. Did he play for
Patriots?
No,
Chargers,
that was
Jets.
Did he play for Broncos, or is that was that the other one?
Yeah, I don't think he played for Denver.
Who the heck was the other little short shit that played for the Patriots?
Darren Sproles?
No, white guy. White guy. I was going to say Danny Woodhead, but oh crap, what was his name? I'll think of it later. It's irrelevant. But it was Danny Woodhead and somebody else. Real shifty, short white guy. I can't think of his name.
Tim Dwight?
No, it was around the same time as Danny Woodhead. I don't know. I'll remember later. But anyway, LT, Antonio Cromartie, and Danny Wood had all 33% across the board. I went with Cromartie. As much as the other ones are really, really good, I always seem to be a little partial to the defense. I loved the defense back when they were actually allowed to hit. And Cromartie didn't take any shit.
It's true. If any of his kids would have voted, it would have broken his tie. I went with Woodhead.
Oh, man.
I likes me some Danny Woodhead.
But we will look at some of the studs and duds here, moving over to some of the fantasy stuff here. Nominations for fantasy studs: Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and the Cleveland Browns defense. Prescott 20%, Browns defense got the remaining 80%. I'm sorry, but defense is not meant to get more than 5-10 points tops a week. And if that's when they have a really good, solid defense and a good, solid game. When you're getting damn near 30 points for a defense and they're scoring more points than most of the quarterbacks this week because they're backups, hats off to you.
Yeah, no points allowed. Perfect game. Shutout. Boom.
It doesn't get any better than that. I don't know how that's not a unanimous vote. But, yeah. Fantasy dud nominees for the week. We had George Pickens, Gabe Davis, Michael Thomas, Travis Kelce. Again, to me, this just seems like straight math. Having one of them, I went with George Pickens because anytime somebody hurts your team, you're going to get my vote.
I went with Pickens too, but when Travis Kelce gets 14 yards and no touchdowns, there in previous seasons, I swear to God, Kelce's gotten 14 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's been like fucking player of the week.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I mean, comparing to his average, it was well below what you're expecting. But hey, 14 yards is better than negative yards. So I would have gladly taken the 14 yards and got, positive points versus the -1 that Pickens got me. So hats off to you, Pickens, for being one of the shittier players this week.
Yeah, and he's been ostracized by the Steelers because he just completely just disassociated himself.
Yeah, it works out well for me, though, in my fantasy team because I don't see how that could affect me at all. Like, that'll work out great.
Got the W.
Yeah, barely, but yes. No thanks to the freaking Chargers kicker. Maybe, I don't know, if Herbert could find a way to get in the freaking end zone once in a while, I wouldn't have so many goddamn field goals kicked, but that's neither here nor there.
Staley hates kickers.
See, he also hates getting first downs.
Pussy, say it.
No, well, I don't know if he hates them more than I don't know if he hates them more than kickers.
He said it.
No, he hates he hates getting first downs. He hates getting first downs because when you go for it for fourth down all the time and your fourth down conversion rate is dog shit, clearly you don't like playing offense.
And wingers get wings.
Yeah. But let's God. Let's finish up here. We got our poll. I went back and listened, or not our poll, but our picks. I went back and listened to our pick from like week 4 or 5 and seen or heard our picks, who we thought was going to be leading the division at the midway point. And so we're heading into week 10. So we're kind of right at that sweet spot here. We just finished up week 9. So we're about midway through. Looking back at them, we were very similar on a lot of them. And we're actually very accurate on a lot of these. We both picked the Bills, which we're not too far off. Right now, Dolphins are 6-3, Bills are 5-4, Jets 4-4, Patriots measly 2-7. So we're only one game off. So we're not too bad on that. We both picked the Ravens, and Ravens are basically running away with that one. Somehow the Steelers are still slightly above 500, tied with the Browns. Ravens 7-2. Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals all 5-3. I feel like it's not as tight as it looks because the Steelers are just horrible and the Bengals are playing catch up. But I don't know. We'll see. I think the Ravens are probably still going to go away with it. But we differed on the South. You had the Jags. I had the Colts. Obviously, you get the win on that one. Jags at 6-2, Texans 4-4, Colts 4-5, Titans 3-5. We both agreed on the Chiefs. That's looking pretty obvious. Chiefs at 7-2, Chargers 4-4, Raiders 4-5, Broncos 3-5. Switching over to the NFC here, we both had the Eagles. It's pretty easy guess there. Eagles 8-1, Cowboys 5-3, Commanders 4-5, Giants 2-7. Both had the Lions 6-2, Vikings 5-4, which surprises me. They were trending in the wrong direction earlier when we picked. Packers 3-5, Bears 2-7. We both picked the Saints, I believe. Yes, we both picked the Saints. Saints are on top, just edging out the Falcons. Saints at 5-4, Falcons 4-5, Buccaneers 3-5, Panthers 1-7. We both were in on the Niners. Niners 5-3, Seahawks also 5-3, which that's what kind of surprised me. For as bad as the Seahawks have been playing, I feel like they were a lot further behind. But I think what caught them up was the 2 duds or 3 duds, whatever it was, that San Francisco had. But the Rams are at 3-6, Cardinals at 1-8. So, with that being said, we can kind of run through here real quick and just do like a rapid fire. And you don't need to get too crazy into anything, but here at about the third quarter, who do you think is going to be leading? We'll start with the AFC East: Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots.
Bills. I gotta dance with what I brung, Jared. I'm going Bills, baby.
I'll say the Bills as well. I don't know. That Dolphins defense concerns me. The Bills have to figure it out at some point. They got to figure it out. AFC North: Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. I'm going to ride with the Ravens.
Ravens, and that sucks. It hurts.
I don't trust the Steelers. The Browns' biggest downfall is the offense. I think the Bengals may figure it out ultimately by the end, but I don't think they're going to be leading by the third quarter.
They're all making the playoffs. It'll be great.
Yeah. South, you got Jags, Texans, Colts, Titans.
Still the Jags.
I'm going to go off on a limb here. I'll say Texans.
No, God, you pussy. You should have said the Titans.
Fuck no. I said Colts first half. I think the Texans. I think the Jags might have a couple clunker games. And I think with the way CJ Stroud's playing, I think they might catch the Jags.
You're drinking the CJ juice. Oof.
I am.
Jags.
We'll see. I would not be surprised if it's Jags, but I'd like to see Stroud do some cool stuff there in the Texans. West, we got Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. I don't even think it's a question.
Nope.
I'll say the Chiefs. You can say the Broncos. Moving on.
That's right. Double down. Chiefs, and it's not even close. Chiefs by a mile. The rest of that division is garbage. Hot trash.
Yes, it is. NFC East, we got Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants.
God, I wish I could pick the Giants twice.
I mean, you can. Still's not going to equal the amount of wins the Eagles are going to have. I'm going Eagles.
Eagles. Can't go wrong.
NFC North: Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears.
God, you know where my heart is.
Yeah. Well, if I listen back to the previous one, you said you had stitched hats with the C from George Hallis on there. So
I
I'm
got
guessing
those.
that
I
makes
still
one of
have
us.
them. Doesn't
That
mean I
makes one
picked
of
the
us.
Bears. At no point in any fucking recording did they ever say the Bears were going to win a goddamn thing, except for a game against the Packers twice a year. But I'm standing by it. Go Lions.
They're not even going to win twice a year because they already lost once. But I will go with the Lions as well. South, we got Saints, Falcons, Buccaneers, Panthers.
Don't
You already went with Giants. You might as well say Panthers.
When the fuck have I ever said no? As soon as they got rid of Baker Mayfield, they got rid of my fandom. I'm going Saints.
I didn't say Buccaneers. I said you already said the Giants. You might as well go with the
No, the
Panthers.
Panthers. The Panthers got rid of Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
He was with Carolina before he was with Tampa Bay.
no, I forgot. He had a cup of coffee with them and the Rams.
That's right, Saints.
Yep, I'll go with the Saints. Here's an interesting one. The West. Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals.
Niners. Without blinking, Niners.
I have a hard time believing it's going to be anybody other than the Niners. I mean, you just picked up freaking Chase Young as well. Like, that defense is just getting stacked. If you can't win with all that talent, you got a problem.
And
I don't know what to tell you.
Debo's back after the Browns broke him. Debo's back. Niners about to run away with the NFC West. They're about to run away with the NFC. Niners are going to win the whole thing.
I think it's going to come down to Eagles and Niners in the postseason, but we'll get to that poll a little bit later. But
why don't you get to this poll a little sooner?
what poll? So, are you going to go with your typical bread and butter here? We got the Panthers and the Bears. We already mentioned Thursday. Are we going with the under? All in?
Yeah, I always take the under. But I'm also broke as fuck, so don't trust me.
Man, 38.5. That's a pretty damn low under.
Watch it happen. 17-11.
17-11. If that score hits, by God, sir, you should play the lottery. How the Bears are favored?
Mathematically, it doesn't even make sense. Do it.
No, it doesn't.
Watch it. 17-11. If this thing hits, I swear to God, we better be on the fucking Pat McAfee show.
The freaking Bears are favored by 3.5 points. That seems awfully generous for two shitty teams.
I'm betting money on that shit. Bet that fine. You can't even bet that goddamn score. Won't even let you.
You probably have to do the bands, like 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 or whatever per team.
I'll do that.
Well, you heard it here. If the score ends up being 17-11, Todd Corley called it first. He gets all the glory and all the brownie points. But yeah, with that being said, I think that'll wrap up this episode of the Fifth Quarter Sportscast. Download, rate, subscribe, review. You want to interact with us on all the various socials, hit us up on 5th Q Sportscast, 5THQ Sportscast. We'll be taking a week off here. We'll be going out of town, so we'll still be doing some interacting on the socials, but we'll combine the next 2 weeks here, and we'll catch up on week 11. But in the meantime, go watch some, I guess if you want to say, interesting matchups. I don't know how well they're going to pan out, but go watch some week 10 football, make some bets, get some money, go have some fun, catch up on week 11, and we'll follow up from there. We'll touch back when we get back to here.
What'd the ocean say to the beach? Nothing. It just waved.